For the first time in more than 60 years, the government has been brought down by a no-confidence vote by MPs. Michel Barnier will present his resignation later, becoming the shortest-serving Prime Minister in the history of modern France. The vote was decisive. 288 votes were needed to unseat Mr Barnier. In the end, 331 were cast to remove him. The budget, which was the cause of his downfall, is now defunct. France has been plagued by political uncertainty since the summer election resulted in a hung parliament, a result that can't be changed in an election before next July. Let's take you to the scene live in Paris, where it has just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. President Macron will address the nation this evening. He is also expected to appoint a new Prime Minister quickly, not least because US President-elect Donald Trump is due in Paris this weekend for the opening of the Notre Dame Cathedral after the fire 5 years ago. Our first report this hour is from our Paris correspondent, Andrew Harding.
Moments before the voting began here in Paris, Michel Barnier made a final, rather forlorn plea to French MPs. The Prime Minister urged them to back him, his government and his budget, or create chaos.
Mesdames et messieurs les députés, je ne me résous pas.
I can't believe a majority of MPs here will vote to destabilize our institutions at a moment where our country is going through a deep moral, economic, financial and civic crisis.
Économique, financière et civique.
But the answer came back fast and conclusive.
Pour l'adoption 331.
The Speaker of Parliament revealing that 57% of MPs had voted no confidence in the government. Politicians from the hard right and hard left of French politics briefly uniting on this one issue.
I don't feel my head spinning, and I don't consider this a victory. We had a choice to make, and the choice we made was to protect French people.
Having tasted blood, many French MPs now want more. Specifically, they want President Emmanuel Macron ousted. Heading home from a trip to Saudi Arabia, a badly weakened president has made it clear he's staying put. It is 62 years since France last found itself in a situation like this. On that occasion, President de Gaulle stood his ground and eventually regained control of Parliament. Today feels rather different. France is in debt, public frustration growing, a nation wrestling, like so many now, with the forces of polarisation and populism. I think it's tragic, says this woman, of today's vote. Nobody is considering the consequences. There's a lot of anxiety, this man adds. I'm upset both with the forces on the left and the far right. A government has fallen, but France's political deadlock remains firmly in place. Andrew Harding, BBC News, Paris.